What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is AkeemHaynes. I'm a two-time Olympian, Olympic bronze medalist, author, motivational speaker, and sports commentator. On my channel, we talk boxing, MMA, track and field, and of course, motivation and encouraging content. If this is something that you enjoy, then I hope that you subscribe to the channel. Now, let's get into the video. Joet Gonzalez versus Enrique Vivas. This is the co-main event for Robeisy Ramirez and Isaac Dogboe. Let's get into it. Let's start with Joet Gonzalez. 25 wins, 3 losses, 15 wins by way of knockout. Joet he's a tough cat, man. I mean, he's a relentless fighter. He's always in good fights, and sometimes the scorecards don't always tell the full tale. The only fight of Joet Gonzalez that I've seen where I said, yeah, those scorecards do tell that tale was when he fought Shakur Stevenson back in 2019 and Emmanuel Navarrete. The scorecards for Shakur Stevenson was a very lopsided fight, and stylistically, that wasn't a fight that Joet Gonzalez was going to have a lot of success in. Now, if we're looking at resumes, it's easy to see who has the better resume. Joet has the better resume than Vivas, and he's been in the ring with some heavy hitters, right? But he's also got some good wins over some good boxers like Manuel Avila, Miguel Mariaga, and Joey Santizema. But he's also faced elite guys like Shakur Stevenson, Emmanuel Navarrete, and Isaac Dogboe, and those were his 3 losses. Joet Gonzalez, man, he's been in a lot of wars, right? He's had a lot of wear and tear on his body, and he's a guy that isn't going to quit in any way. He's always going to come to bring it. But man, those hits, those accumulation, I mean, they add up over time, and they truly wear your body down. Now, Joet doesn't throw a lot of punches early in the rounds, and I think that's been something that often holds him back against the top guys, because he has to fight his way back in the second half of the fight rather than trying to even the score in the playing field a little bit sooner. It usually takes him a few rounds for him to get going. And if his opponents have a good work rate, you know, he doesn't mind letting his opponents get off on him. And it can be frustrating to watch at times, because I'm like, yo, Joet, just step aside, man. Like, you can't allow him to just do that and impose his will on you, and you sit on the ropes and just take these shots and weather the storm, because I think he is a better boxer than what he does stylistically in the ring sometimes. Like when he fought Santizema was outworking him early and had him on the ropes, and Gonzalez would stay on the ropes and cover up and leave his body open to get hit. And going into that 6th round of their fight, I think Santizema threw 5 rounds, threw 100 more punches than Gonzalez. That's a massive amount. That's a big discrepancy. Even though all those punches weren't getting through, but he was still getting outworked big time. But he's a guy that is going to continue to come forward, and once he gets comfortable, that's when he will start to let his hands go. I think he fights well on the inside. He can box on the outside a little as well too. He's a come forward style of guy, and he's a sharp puncher when he does land. I thought he did some very good work against Santizema and eventually got the stoppage, but I thought that could have happened much sooner. Even the stoppage, I thought the ref could have let Santizema finish the fight, but nonetheless, it is what it is, right? But again, Joet Gonzalez, man, if he can get in and get into a rhythm and a groove early, man, I like the trajectory of where this fight will go for him. Now, when he fought Isaac Dogboe, a lot of people thought that he won that fight, but that was a fight that, you know, he kind of picked up the pace a little bit early. Started to see him get a little comfortable more in the 2nd and the 3rd round, and his hands started to follow, right? But that's usually what you want to see, man. If he comes in and starts getting his rhythm early, it's going to be a good sign, right? But that was a fight that was back and forth between 2 guys with something to prove. He took some big shots, but he also landed some big shots of his own as well. And that's the Joet Gonzalez style that we were used to, right? He's not a guy that I would say prioritizes defense first. He's there to get hit, but he's also going to do some hitting himself. I thought it was a good back and forth in his last fight. I'm expecting some of that same similar style to come off into this one, except I think he is going to move a little bit better. But let's talk about his opponent, Enrique Vivas. 22 wins, 2 losses, 11 wins by way of knockout. If you like a lot of punches thrown, if you like action, if you like a guy that likes to get to it, get right down to business, Vivas is your guy, because he has that one style, right? And that's to come forward, find my range from in close and just start hammering shots, body shots and hooks. And he doesn't leave your side, right? Like he's going to be right there, right in front of you. That's what he is. This is what he does, right? This is what he does. He isn't trying to win a boxing sweet science contest. He's trying to wear you down, and he's trying to test your will and your spirit, because he's going to come in swinging, and he is going to try to smother your attacks and play to his strength. Now, when he fought Eduardo Baez, that was a close fight, but when you look at the statistics, like the punch output from that fight, man, I think both of them combined for like 1,600 punches. I'm like, yo, that is a crazy pace for a 10-round fight, right? That's a lot of volume. Vivas threw like 113 punches in round one alone. Vivas was the busier fighter, yes, but Baez, I thought, landed the more eye-catching shots. It was simply an inside the pocket type of fight, right? I really think like inside fighting, man, is tough. Right? On camera, it may not look like they're doing anything spectacular, but man, you got to make subtle movements and subtle adjustments in order to land the shots that you want, because you don't have a lot of room to maneuver. It takes a lot of thought process when you're in close trying to hit and not get hit. But regardless, both of these men were effective and were productive from in close. But I thought Baez was more effective than Vivas in that fight. And they both got chin on them because they both took some big shots. Now, if you get into the ring with Vivas and you aren't ready when the bell starts, you're going to feel the pressure early, and you're going to feel the pursuit, and you're going to feel the shots coming at you early. When he fought John Morrell, Morrell didn't expect the fight to start out as quickly as it did. Right? I don't even think he was really set. I didn't see him break any sweat going into the fight. He did not know what was about to come his way, and that fight was stopped by a body shot in Vivas in the first round, and it didn't go past the first round. Now, in Vivas' last fight against Eddie Valencia, Valencia was boxing very well, and he was trying to move around the ring, jabbing and trying to slow down Vivas from coming forward, but Vivas just kept coming forward and got in close, right? And that was a fight where Vivas, to me, looked like he tried to box a little bit more and keep a little bit of distance in some of the rounds. And when he did that, right, Valencia would get the better hand and he would steal the round. But when Vivas fought his fight, he recovered that momentum that he lost in the previous round, right? He ended up getting a win by split decision for him. But that was a fight that I thought Valencia could have won. But his body language looked like he was okay with how that fight was going and how it was going to play out. I wouldn't say that was the best performance from Vivas, but nonetheless, he got the win. So who wins? I'm taking Joet Gonzalez to win this fight by decision, man. I think Vivas is one-dimensional. I wouldn't say he makes really the best adjustments in the fight. He's going to come forward, try and fight from close and outwork you, try to be the busier fighter, try to hit whatever is in front of him, where I think Joet Gonzalez can slip and move a little bit better. And if he has to engage in that brawl, he can stand there with the best of them. And I think he packs more of a punch than Vivas as well, too. And I also think this is going to be a fight where Joet Gonzalez starts throwing a little bit sooner and find his groove a little bit sooner, because Vivas is going to force him to do that. Gonzalez seems to come on strong in the second half, but I think he's going to start better, and I think he's going to finish stronger than Vivas. And I think he is going to land the more eye-catching, cleaner shots. And I think he is going to move a lot more in the ring and not just be a sitting duck as much as we've seen him in previous fights before. So it's a 10-round fight, but I think Gonzalez will get the job done. Both men have strong chins, so I don't particularly see a stoppage happening personally, but it should be a pretty good co-main event with Joet Gonzalez coming on top for me. What are your thoughts on this fight? Who do you have winning this one? Let me know in the comment section below. If you would like to support the channel, there's a couple ways you can do so. You can like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to support by way of donation, you can find options in the description below. Also, my Cash App handle will be on screen as well. Any amount goes towards the growth of this channel and will be greatly, greatly appreciated. So with all that being said, if you've been watching the video this long, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel, and we'll definitely see you next time.